Okay, everybody. So I've been playing with GB Studio, which is a program that lets you make your own Game Boy games. And a couple hours ago, I had this idea for something to add to a game where if you are idle for an extended time, the player character will start to tap their foot, kind of like in Sonic games. Everyone knows of Sonic doing that in the games. If he gets impatient because you haven't pushed any buttons for like 20 seconds, he'll start tapping his foot. And I've done exactly that in this little demonstration that I have made. And I'll show you. So it should take about 15 seconds after I stop moving. Coming up. Oh, do. He'll start to tap his foot if I don't push any buttons for a while. There, see? And don't judge my sprite work because I'm not even making a Sonic game. I just decided to have this sprite be Sonic since everyone knows of that. And there it is. So he does that, and if I start moving again and wait about 20 seconds, he'll do it again. One, two, three, four. He'll do it any second. Yeah. And after I do it again, I will show you how I accomplished this. See? It just does it when you're not pushing any buttons. So, the first thing I'll show you in order to accomplish this is I created 6 different, why is it, whatever, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yeah, 6 different character sprite files for the same character. I know it's going to seem ridiculous, but that's what you got to do because I couldn't figure out how to do this any other way. So there's the first one. That's what he looks like when he's standing still, idle. Impatient when, and then it'll switch to impatient 1, 2. It's an animation, and then I will show you the code right here. Oh, by the way, so I know GB Studio is meant for top-down games like Pokemon and Legend of Zelda, but I've been working on making a side-scrolling game, and I'm accomplishing that by having a wall at the bottom of the screen, and I'm making that, quote, wall look like the ground. And then I'm putting what do you call that, a barrier? Yeah, a collision up directly above and below the character so that he can't go walking off into the sky. And I only have left and right sprite images. That way he can't even turn up. It doesn't look like, at least it won't look like he is. So for the extended idle script, here's what I did. If you are pushing any buttons, oh, this is, by the way, this is a huge script, but that's how I figured out how to do it. I mean, that's how I accomplished it. So for the extended idle, if you are pushing any buttons, it'll set a variable that I called that variable active. It'll set the variable to 0. Else, which means if you're not pushing any buttons, it'll load this giant script. Look at all that. Here's what it's doing. Else variable, if you are not pushing any buttons, it will increase the active variable by 1. It'll wait a second, and then if you push any buttons, then it will stop the script. The reason I had to put in all of these, if button is pushed, stop the script, is because if I didn't, then you wouldn't be able to move you wouldn't be able to move at all. It wouldn't let you move. So you have to put in these if button pushed stop scripts. So it'll increase the variable by 1, wait a second, detect if there's a button pushed, wait another second, add another increment, wait, yada yada yada, and then so down. And then that's if joypad input, variable, and then once it finally waits, I think I made it 15 seconds. So I have 15 sets of those 3 actions. And then after that, if after 15 seconds there's still no button input, it will change your sprite to the idle. And then it'll wait Again, same thing as above. If I didn't do all these, if buttons detected, then stop the script, then it wouldn't let you do anything. And then after it changes the sprite sheet to idle, then it'll change it to impatient 1. That's a completely separate character sprite file. Wait a second. Change your sprite to impatient 2, to impatient 3, impatient 4, impatient. Oh, and then I had it alternate between 3 and 4 because that's just the foot going up and down. And then it right here, this is just it alternating between 3 and 4. 4, 3, 4, 3, 4. I had to do it a bunch of times because that's just how you got to do it. But I hope if this inspires anyone, feel free to copy my idea. Obviously, I don't care because it's cool. I also have another script going on here. I put it as an idle script, and there's the extended idle script, which I just showed you this whole video. There's also just the normal idle script, idle pose. So if any direction buttons, the D-pad is being pushed, then it will say change your character sprite to moving. Else, set it to idle. That's a whole set characters. You have to do the actor set player sprite sheet to idle. And that's how I did that. As you can see, it's a little finicky. It doesn't always do it. Like right there, it's not doing it for some reason. Not doing it. There, it did it. See, in the actual walking animation, in the normal walking sprite sheet, he doesn't just stand still like this. This is a completely different character sheet. So moving, for some reason he's not doing it. Sometimes he does it. It's really finicky. That part of the script is finicky. But the animation where after 15 seconds he'll start tapping his foot, that has been consistent. That's always working for me. And I did that by putting that long script I showed you in a trigger that I extended to be the length of the entire walking area. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this. Bye.